Hi, a very good afternoon from us at the Athenee Hotel, Bangkok. We just attended the Summit Conference and Awards by Global Health Asia Pacific, and Alhamdulillah, Amden Capital just received an award in Healthcare Financing Service of the Year in Malaysia for the second time. So today I am with my CEO, Mr. Ranjit Singh. Thank you, boss, for accommodating to my last minute request for this interview.
Most welcome, Ms.
And
Emma.
yes, congratulations to Amden Capital.
Congratulations to us. The team has done really well. It's definitely a team effort. I think all the work that you guys put in, that we put in.
We have a great boss to lead us. So today actually, I wanted to ask you about this one theory you have been mentioning to us. And also, we have been asked many questions related to affordability.
That's true.
Yes, so
The broken chain theory in
medical care.
care.
Yes, the broken chain theory in medical care. So it is a theory that I've never heard before. So when boss keep on mentioning and sharing it with me, I would like it to be heard. So today, take some of your time and asking you so you can explain more to us.
So you're taking me away from
Yes.
from the tom yum and
From the tom yum. That one later. Let's have a chat first.
Go ahead.
Okay, so our organization is the only specialized medical financing institution in Southeast Asia, boss.
That's true. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
So what inspired you to focus on patient financing back in 2020, and why is affordability often mentioned as the broken link in assessing quality healthcare?
Okay. Before I go on, I would like to say there are other institutions that try to do what we do, but they are not specialized, right? So they're very general. They try to create a product known as medical financing or healthcare financing, but because they are not focused, they are unable to actually do what we do. And back to your question again, I'm sorry, I sidetracked a bit.
Why you focus on patient financing back in 2020?
Okay, I left Deutsche Bank in 99. Went into consumer financing business, which was that point in time much needed because banks were being difficult with credit.
Okay.
Right? So we had very qualified clients who needed financing, but they were just not getting what they needed. So we filled in that gap. Fast forward 2014, 2015 is when we saw more and more people coming in to apply for medical related loans, right? And in 2018, the numbers kept on growing. In 2018 again, we got our team to go out there and see why are these needs not being met.
Okay.
So they got back and then they told me that the FIs, the banks, and the medical fraternity were not talking to each other. They couldn't come to an understanding on how this should be met. So in 2020, we took advantage of COVID.
Okay.
COVID, you couldn't do much business, so we took advantage of that. We cleared up Amden Capital. We did all our research on medical related financing, and we couldn't find anything in Southeast Asia. Nothing. No one was doing it. So countries like Australia, I think they were doing it a little bit. US, yes. So we did a lot of homework on that, and then we saw that not everything could work in the Asian context, in the Malaysian context. So we tweaked it to suit what our clients needed. So and the medical financing institution was born.
Interesting. So this is the 5th year.
Yeah, it's the 5th year. So we started to we did our first disbursement for medical financing in the last quarter of 2021,
Okay.
and this 3.5 4 years is like an incubation period for us to understand how it is. Simple reason, because consumer financing is really a no-brainer for me. I've been doing it for the last 3 decades, so I generally understand the risks and how we can work and how we can maximize both ends, right? The consumer as well as the organization doing it. But medical financing or healthcare financing is something that I usually term as the term I usually use is emotional financing.
Yes.
Okay.
I always use that
You
also.
hear that, right?
It gives more impact, actually.
It does. Because when you're dealing with someone who's not well,
Yes.
or need financing for medical related, that person is usually quite emotional. So how do you marry these two? How do you curate a product that suits not just the credit scoring of a person,
Yes.
but also the current emotional situation of a client. You've
That's
done it
true.
for the last 2
2
years,
years. Yes.
and so you've seen it's not exactly
It's not totally direct to the point.
yeah.
You need to see from case to case basis how to attend to the client's needs.
So every
So,
client is different. Every client is emotionally different.
Yes.
The baggage that comes. So we really manage, like when you speak to clients, each client is a different tone. Each client is a different approach.
True.
There's no that one size fits all.
No.
So it's amazing actually what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that's what keeps us going.
Yes.
We enjoy that.
I enjoy that because seeing how we can try to cater to their needs and help them to get the financing so they can get the procedure being done.
As stressful as it is, we enjoy it.
Yes. Okay, to the next question, boss. Why do top medical facilities, expert doctors, and cutting edge equipment alone fail to guarantee access for patients?
Emma, Malaysia has got fantastic facilities, healthcare facilities. Our doctors, not only are they good, accomplished their fields, there's also a lot of compassion. We heard doctors speak at the conferences last 2 days at the global health event, right? And you heard a lot of compassion there. Genuine compassion when they speak. I was listening to Dr. Sani, right? Cardiothoracic surgeon. For me, every surgeon in IGN is just a heart surgeon, so there are a lot of fields, right? Because I'm none the wiser, right? So I was listening to him speak. There's a lot of compassion, and you could see the team each time a patient has recovered. That there's a lot of joy in it.
Yes.
They actually are genuinely happy for the patient. Now, back to the question: why doesn't the best facilities, best equipment, the best medical talent, doctors, surgeons,
fail to
guarantee access for patients? It boils down to affordability. Can the patient afford that treatment? It really boils down to that.
Affordability.
Okay. Hence this topic, hence why I always mention the broken chain theory in medical care.
Interesting. I really like that word. Medical chain theory in
The broken chain
the
theory.
broken chain theory in medical care
Yeah.
by Ranjit Singh. So I'm going to stick to that. Okay, next question, boss. How does the current insurance scenario coverage or the lack of it affect healthcare? And how do you see healthcare financiers like us, such as Amden Capital, becoming more relevant, boss?
Emma, we have to come to terms with that, the fact that medical inflation is never going away. Okay. Things like currency depreciation, where we've come down by over 60% in the last 12 years, and the fact that that was also highlighted during the conference. Every single thing we do, the drugs we buy for hospitals, the equipment, is purchased in US dollars. Right? So not only has the currency depreciated, the pricing has also gone up. So it's a double whammy for hospitals. And a lot of people do not understand this. They don't understand this. Another factor to look at is, you mentioned insurance.
Yes.
Co-payments. See, once the currency started to depreciate in 2014, it took about 3 years, and the effects were really felt. And 2017, if I'm not wrong, the insurance companies started to impose co-payments.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2017. So it started to creep up. It's definitely not 5 or 10%. It's more than that. So we've seen co-payment as high as 20%. And then there's also exclusions from insurance companies. When you go, your bills is itemized. Okay, they say this is what we cover, this is excluded, we don't cover. So for what we don't cover, you pay yourself. You settle the bill with hospitals, right? And then you've got issues of the cashless facility at hospitals, where you pay and you claim later. So then you take your bills and go there, then they tell you, okay, fine, you've paid now, let us look at your bills. Okay, this is not what we're not going to cover. This is what you're going to get. So all this has led to making healthcare financiers like Amden Capital more relevant. We're definitely much needed, and we will be becoming more and more relevant in the future as time goes by. Things are evolving. We're no longer sitting in the 80s or the 90s anymore. Things are really evolving. And another thing that we should look at is that premiums have gone up. Double digit, some as high as triple digit. So we've got many families that are terminating their insurance policies.
Yes, because it's too much for them to bear.
Too much for them to bear.
Yes.
Too much for them to bear. So, and then they're heading back to public hospitals, which again, it's a domino effect. Public hospitals are now, they've come to this point a long time ago, where they are unable to cope. The doctors are fantastic, the nurses are amazing, right? But there's only so much that they can cope with. So then they turn back again to private healthcare, and then affordability becomes an issue down there, and that's where we become relevant. Makes sense to you? It's a very I could go on and on about this. I could go on for talking about this for a whole week, and there are a lot of areas that we could cover on this. some sensitive, some not so sensitive, but it has to be said.
Yes.
It has to be mentioned. So yeah, I mean, it's a short interview, so
yes.
yeah, I'll just very briefly just touch.
Yeah, you can keep going on about it the whole day, boss.
Yeah.
Understand. Can you share a compelling case where healthcare financing enabled a life-saving or a life-changing procedure?
Life-saving, life-changing. Life-saving first.
Yes.
We had this client who come in. She was a mother of 7 children. You remember her?
Yes, I remembered her.
Okay.
Correct.
So you remember her. So um, she after 7 children, she injected herself with breast fillers.
Okay.
So after the 5th cycle, the 5th year, her breast got infected.
Yeah.
And they were swollen. They were.
We can see, although she covered it with her tudung, her hijab, but we can see how
large. And she did mention to us that she said it's really swollen. I'm on high dose of antibiotics, and I need this surgery desperately because the antibiotics are not working anymore. And she said that if I don't go for this, I might end up losing my life.
Yeah, I remember her saying
that. I think the first thing that came to my mind was she's got 7 kids. If she dies, you got 7 lives that will be affected by it. That was the first thing that came to my mind. She wasn't the most perfect. She's a middle manager, earning decent income, but not the most perfect credit scoring. But we made a call, and I think it was a good call.
Yes, I felt good. Among the earliest cases that I've been dealing with, so always have such a huge impact in me.
Oh yeah, you just joined us that time.
Yes.
Yes, I remember that.
So it's been about 2 years already.
Yeah, 2 years. She's recovered very well.
Very well, alhamdulillah.
The life-changing one is this couple, very senior in terms of career. They've been married for 9-10 years, I think. And because the wife was a bit on the heavy side, I think she was definitely obese, I think class 2. So because of that, she couldn't conceive. One of the reasons she couldn't conceive. So after bariatric surgery, they came to us for bariatric surgery financing. So after bariatric surgery, we usually kept in touch with our clients. Yeah. And one I called to wish a client for Raya. And he said, boss, I think it was somewhere in May. He said in August we're expecting our first child.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, these are the 2. So I can just. We have got many. But life changing and life saving. These are the 2. I think it keeps us going. It makes us happy. Yeah. It gives us reason to do what we're doing.
Amazing stories.
Yeah, I know.
In Malaysia, what are the biggest hurdles, insurance gaps, procedural costs, post-treatment expenses that push patients to financing?
Okay, the Malaysian government is fantastic. We've got a very complete healthcare system, I would say. For all Malaysians complain, comparatively, the government is doing very, very good. Yeah. Insurance gaps, procedural costs, post-treatment expenses that push patients into financing. Let's look at our clientele. Now, our clientele is M40 mid-tier to the top T15,
Yes.
the top 15% of income earners. So the top 5%, they don't really require financing, but the top 15% still do, right? So the B40, the bottom 40%, the government really manages them very, very well. All their needs. Yeah. It might take a bit longer wait at hospitals. Okay, then we are aware. So, but they are generally taken care of, right? So insurance gaps, procedure costs, post-treatment expenses. Insurance gap we mentioned earlier. Pay and claim, exclusion, co-payment is something that's out of pocket. Okay, the out of pocket expenses OPPE in Malaysia is about 30 billion ringgit, and it's going up. And that is not coming down.
Yes.
Okay, several reasons. Insurance issues. Gone are the days where you have insured. You go, you give your card, and you don't pay a penny. So now it's different. The dynamics are changing, right? And we are also an aging society, whereby a lot of Malaysians rely on employers' insurance. So once they are not working anymore, that's
covered.
it. They're not covered, right?
Yes.
So the aging society is something that needs attention as well. And then you got electives. A lot of these which are not covered by insurance, right? So if you're not covered by your own insurance, you're not covered by your employer's insurance as well. And then margin of coverage has come down with a lot of employers. When the TPAs are involved, margins are squeezed, so there's lack of coverage. So we'll still have to fork out your own money, right? But the biggest change that we have noticed post-COVID, after COVID, is a change in spending habits. So you know our clients. Our clients are generally earn between 8 to 40,000 individual income, right? So they're definitely household-wise, they're definitely in the T5, T10 range, the top 10% income earners. They still come to us, and when we look at the documents, Emma, we can tell there's a healthy balance in their accounts. They 100, 150, 200,000, but they still come to us for financing of 30, 40, 50,000. Why? Post-COVID, I think the fear of what happened during COVID has made them want to have that buffer, that savings. So that savings is something they want to keep.
Yes.
The credit card is something where they want to keep, and they don't mind taking a paying financing cost to it, and stretching it up to 5 years. So that's what's been happening. So patients are coming in for that, not out of desperation. Right?
They want to have more choices.
They want to have more choices.
Yeah, exactly. How does Amden's partnership model with close to 100 providers, hospitals and specialists work to close care gaps, boss?
Okay, I think it's an overlapping question from the previous ones. I'll address it anyway.
Okay.
Let's look at procedures such as where implants are required.
Okay.
A lot of implants, the surgery itself is covered by insurance. The implants is not. Alright?
Yes.
Yeah. So financing is needed for the implants. If not, it's out-of-pocket expenses for the client. So it really the client again don't want to go into their child's education fund, the children's education fund to use for their medical care or for their parents' medical care. Say they would rather again stretch it for a longer period of time.
Besides conventional financing, Amden Capital provides Shariah-compliant healthcare financing. How has this approach shaped trust and uptake among our Muslim patients?
Okay. See, we are very culturally sensitive, so we are sensitive towards our clients' needs culturally, their religious needs. We try and meet where we can.
Yes,
right?
true.
So that's when we decided to have an option of Sharia conventional financing. It's added cost for us because if you go back to banks as well and you look at financing, you take conventional and Sharia loans. You look at the cost, any Islamic financing, you pay a bit more because there's added cost to it.
Okay.
You pay your advisors, you do a trade on Islamic bursa, so there's definitely added cost to it. We did that. We approach a well-known Sharia advisor. Emma, in Malaysia, there are only 19 authorized Sharia advisors. So we work with one of the best, who is actually, they are well versed with healthcare. Of course, in terms of Sharia, they are well versed. But this particular one has got knowledge on healthcare. So we work with them, and they were very impressed with what we do. I remember the first meeting with them. And when we highlighted to our clients, you have this Sharia compliant option. A lot of them are quite happy with this. They said we go into surgery knowing that every single thing. I mean, our financing is Sharia compliant. What else do we need, right? It makes us feel good as well. That we can meet their religious obligations. It's important. I think to be culturally sensitive, religiously sensitive, irrespective of your background, your culture, religion, is important.
The most interesting question of the day.
I see this.
Okay. Is the broken chain theory in healthcare unique to Malaysia, or do you see the same affordability barrier in other countries?
We are not exclusive. We are not exclusive.
Okay.
Healthcare, medical inflation really is a global phenomenon. Right? We see we see Singapore increasing their insurance premium. Lately, we've heard a couple of hospitals in Singapore where the cashless facility has been taken away. So patients will still go and have to pay and then claim, right? And Thailand, the US, it's global. It's global. Healthcare costs has been rising, and it's not exclusive to us.
It is a global problem.
Yes, it is a global problem.
As Amden expands beyond Malaysia, boss, how will you adapt solutions to different economic and regulatory environments?
Okay. The one word that I think you hear me use the most often,
Yes.
and
What's
those who know me well, relationships.
that? Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
We build relationships.
We build relationship.
So yeah, ever since we started doing what we're doing, we have been approached by parties from Indonesia, Singapore,
Yes.
Thailand. These are the markets that know of us,
Yeah.
right? And how will I adapt solutions? Always engaging with local partners who better understand their cultures, local cultures, the needs, the demands, the risks. So it's important to know the feel on the ground, the pulse on the ground. It's very, very important. If we don't know that, you go in, you're looking for trouble, right? It's like me going down to Thailand, okay, and setting up something, not knowing the language barriers, the cultures,
preference
the
of
sensitivities.
the locals, their preferences.
Correct. Very important.
So we need to understand the background. Where we're going to set up things, we need to understand more.
You see, for us, because I think being in the financing industry for the last 30 odd years, banking and financing for about 35 years, right? It really has
Amazing journey,
helped.
boss.
Oh yeah, it has been a fantastic journey. It has helped a lot. So that's why Amden, since we started medical financing, we have got 0 NPL, right? And it's unheard of in the financing industry. So we're very pleased with what we've achieved, which is fantastic lah. I think.
How did actually we achieve that, boss?
Okay, part is we're using AI, right?
Okay.
A bit of AI, and then of course we try and comply with Bank Negara's responsible lending policies as well. That's important. So you don't overlend.
Okay.
Right? You have a certain margin. We are strict in certain areas, yet flexible in others.
In what we're doing, as the medical financiers, so we are flexible, but we still comply to Bank Negara.
Yeah, we got a dotted line reporting, so we try and meet their responsible lending policies, which I think is very, very good.
Elective procedures like bariatric, fertility, plastic surgery, orthopedic, maternity and confinement, and among others, boss, they're surging post-COVID. What drives this trend, and how do flexible repayments empower patients?
Okay, if you look at all this, right, bariatric, fertility, plastic, reconstruction, orthopedic. Maternity is not exactly elective. You can't wait. You still have to go when the baby
Yes.
comes, right?
Yeah, they can plan in advance.
So
Is it that,
besides
yes.
maternity and confinement, so besides maternity lah, okay, they are all electives. So during COVID, 2021, I would say 22 as well, 2022,
Okay.
people held back. They waited because they were not a priority,
Yeah.
and these were electives that you could still wait for. So once the issue of COVID settled,
Okay.
everyone was out, wanted these procedures, were out with vengeance. They went out, they got their knee replacement done,
Yes.
they got their bariatric surgery done. Of course, those who went through maternity could afford confinement. They went for confinement. Otherwise, these were the things that they couldn't do. They couldn't enjoy during COVID. It was 3 years. Yeah. How flexible repayments empower patients. Again, Emma, I think COVID has taught us quite a few lessons. Right? It has molded how we think. It's changed our spending habits. Is telling us nothing is guaranteed.
Yes.
Right? So instead of using up your cash, stretch your ringgit.
Stretch it out.
Stretch it out 5 years.
Yes. Right. That's what we can try to help you with. Okay. Are there emerging treatment categories like genetic therapy, stem cell, where financing isn't yet available but should be?
I'm not very familiar with gene therapy, right? But stem cells, we have already started financing.
Yes.
Yes. And really, I think stem cells have shown to make a difference in a lot of people's lives and how they look and how the body recovers. So definitely there should be financing allowed for this.
Because now people looking into healthcare and wellness.
Correct.
So stem cell treatment is becoming more relevant.
Wellness is a big thing.
Yes.
Wellness is growing at a pace much faster than, beauty and wellness is growing at a double-digit pace.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can see with among all the conferences we attended. So wellness, especially in stem cell, is one of the topics that they like to talk about.
True.
Right.
You're right.
How can medical experts, insurers, and financiers like Amden Capital better synchronize to ensure end-to-end patient care?
Okay. Question again. How can medical experts, insurance, and financiers
like us,
like Amden Capital, better synchronize to ensure end-to-end
patient
care? First things first, we have to put our differences aside.
Okay.
We have to put our egos aside and focus on what matters. The patient. Profits are important.
Right?
Without a doubt. If we don't make profits, all of these institutions will shut down. Okay. Sure. Again, who will suffer is the patient. So let's work together. Sit as equals and work the best solution for patients. What used to work, say, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, not necessarily works today. Okay. Things are evolving, things are changing. Medical inflation is definitely creeping up. It's gone up. It's definitely going to go up higher. It's not going to come down. So we really have to work together. As for Amden Capital, you've been with us for the last 2 years. We rolled out. We were the first to roll out medical financing in the region, right? We've got another product that's in a pipeline. This product is going to be not regional; it's going to be global, right? And
I'm excited for that.
This product, once we are done with it, will benefit patients, will benefit insurance companies, will benefit financial institutions, will benefit hospitals. So there will be a lot of beneficiaries for once we are done with this. Yep.
Waiting for that, boss. Could policy interventions like mandatory financing disclosures help mend the broken chain?
Mandatory financing disclosures. Like for us, our processes, one of the reasons why we have 0% NPL is we are very thorough in our background checks. Right?
Yes.
We are thorough. We are strict. Yet there's flexibility in our financing as well. We understand client needs, and we understand that healthcare is not a want; it's a need, right? Yes. So, and what we are financing is a need. So it's important. It's important to have for transparency to be there. There need to be disclosures. It'll definitely benefit the patient in the long run. You don't want to be no disclosure, no KYC, eKYC, know your customers, right? Not to be in place, and then eventually the client is unable to service the financing. So that gives a very negative impact, not only on Amden Capital as a financing institution, but also on the client, right?
Where do you envision Amden Capital in 5 years?
Where do we envision Amden Capital?
And what impact metrics define success?
Okay. I think for now we are a very localized provider.
Yes.
Right. Mainly Malaysia. Of course, Indonesia is the pipeline. You've heard that many times. We've got it in mics. Singapore has been tapping. Now Thailand. So we will be global in 5 years. We will be global in 5 years. When the next rollout happens, that can be scaled to heights, to unimaginable heights. Now we are servicing OPPE, the out-of-pocket expenses in Malaysia. That's what 30 billion ringgit, right? So we're just servicing that, and that is just a fraction of the potential out there. Metrics. What impact metrics define success? I think for us, I deem us to be successful if we can if more people can get treatment. Yeah.
That's our goal.
That's actually our goal, to make it more affordable.
Yes.
So that is it. We can't do 100%, but if we can increase that, that will be really fantastic. So then, I think then we will be seen as we've made an impact. That's success to me.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. That social, to fill that social gap is very, very important.
If you had one key message for governments, hospitals, and insurers about fixing this broken chain, what would it be?
Communicate. Communicate, understand, um, and accept that things are not how it used to be. Do not ignore the elephant in the room, right? Which is medical inflation, which is to put it very nicely, reasons of medical inflation. You know, um, the devaluation of the currency, right? The currency exchange. Try to understand the pain points of the industry. Why is there medical inflation? Instead of just ignoring what is obvious. I think communication is key, understanding is key, mutual respect is key, is very important. That's it.
So one word is communicate.
Yeah, communicate. They should. We really lack communication skills in more ways than one. If you come in with a point of authority, it won't work. But if you come in and you sit at a table as equals and understand the pain points of each other, hospitals, government can understand hospitals' pain points, insurers can understand hospital pain points, and vice versa, right? And come up with a solution that is workable. I think they shouldn't impose too much. When all parties can definitely come up with something that's workable. And more than that, also, I think the public will have to accept the fact that the days of the 1 ringgit and the 5 ringgit treatment is over.
It's over, yes.
The government just cannot sustain with that. It is not possible to sustain with the 1 ringgit, 5 ringgit. Things will have to change. I think the government is they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yes.
So is APHM, the hospitals, they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. So that is that. It'll get better. It will get better. Things will improve.
Yes.
Medical inflation is here to stay. It'll definitely be here to stay. But things are.
We need to find solutions how to manage it.
True. That's it.
Thank you for your time, boss.
My pleasure.
It is such a pleasure to have you here today for about an hour.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure is mine.
So hopefully I can always interview you for more other questions or perhaps new theories that come up from you. So
relationship,
thank you so much. Yes.
The broken chain theory, you hear that very often,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes. So yeah, somehow I want it to be shared. So yes.
Yeah, I think through this, through challenges, through hardship is where we evolve, like,
Yeah.
Where we make changes, and we'll get better.
We will.
I'm always hopeful of that. We will get better. I mean, Malaysians certainly are very nice people. We want the best for others.
Yes.
And I'm hopeful, and that we will get better.
So that's all for today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you again from us, from Athenee Hotel Bangkok. Till next time. Bye.